And now, as the session chair, I should introduce John Martinsson, who is a PhD student in our group at RISE. But unfortunately, John is not well, so he's not here today. He sent me his slides, and I will walk you through them just impromptu without any practice. So these slides, I will just briefly start mentioning John's work, and he's doing his PhD in soundscape analysis, motivated by biodiversity monitoring, and also with some technical deep dives on both practice and theory on sound modeling. So these are some slides that are motivated by a project that we've started together with Jonas Hentati Sundberg at Swedish University of Agriculture. And together with them and together with Delia, who's my colleague who's here today as well, we had this fieldwork trip just a few weeks back and to visit a place called Stora Karlsö in the Baltic Sea. So this is a small island just outside Gotland, where this team at SLU, they have created this virtual cliff, and you can sort of see this sort of construction here, and you see it to the right here. You see ledges to the right, and it's a construction that's sort of meant to be a virtual cliff, if you want. On these ledges, the birds gather there. They mate. They take care of their eggs until they hatch and chicks come out. On the ledges, we also can see here, and I think we'll have pictures of that as well. The team has installed cameras, so they already have camera supervision, and they have trained all kinds of interesting models on this that can detect the birds, but can also detect certain events, like a bird coming with a fish in its mouth, and detecting with computer vision, detecting the rings on their feet, which many of these birds have. Oh yes, I'm not going to be able to explain each arrow here, I'm afraid. But yeah, this is the place where it's actually sitting. It's an amazing cliff. So this is an old lighthouse, and we were actually staying in these houses up here. And you could walk out here, and you could peek down, and it was like 30 meters, something, 20, 30 meters. Terrifying. Okay, so those are birds. And these birds are actually called the common guillemot. It is common in the Baltic Sea, and 80% of those guillemots actually gather here on this island, on this cliff. So that's me. Yeah. So you can climb down into this building. That's where I am. Yeah. And this is Jonas, and this is me, and this is John behind. So Jonas is explaining how these things work, and as not more than these just a wall with some wood, and they have these hatches where you can open, and the ecologists they open and they pick in the birds once in a while, and they put on these things on their foot and weigh them and stuff like that, and apparently they're fine with this, and yeah, it's I've never done anything like this, going out in the field like this, and it was amazing to just see how they work and see how the birds live here. So yes, the video monitoring, they've done this for several years. There are some other things, thermal cameras and weight scales, also weather data is collected. So there's already a unique sort of collection of data that's available here. The weight scales, they're combined with a camera that's sort of put from the side there, and so the camera can identify the bird from their tags. And then you can, so they have data for weighing particular birds. But so, why were we here? Is this the important part? No. It's a live stream. We should see the live stream, right? Let's see if sound works. Okay, so I have sound on my computer. Because speakers. Yeah. Okay. So this is actually live from Stora Karlsö at the moment, and you can tune into it from the Auclab webpage. I'm afraid I don't know whether a person is doing these panning with the camera and so on, but it's at least it's switching cameras. It's not switching microphones, so it's just one of the microphones that's collecting this sound at the moment. This is a weighing scale. Sometimes a bird comes sit there, and they collect the data from that. Oh, yeah. So it's a cacophony of sounds, and it's pretty cool. There are thousands of birds. Yeah. Okay. Good. So why were we there? Yeah, we have initiated this collaboration around sound analysis. So we were there to put up microphones, and Delia has done this job of sort of identifying all the technical details of what we needed, and so we went there with a bag of 8 high-quality microphones, and we just went in there and helped the crew install them. And I think you can see here, that's the microphone. It's a lot of tape, and then there's this tiny microphone. It's just a couple of, like 5 millimeters wide or something. So the big thing here is the camera, and then there's this small thing is the microphone. And this is sitting on a sliding thing where you can pull it in and service the camera and stuff. So our hope is that we will now have camera data which is synced temporally with audio recordings, and which we can then use to do some more elaborate analysis and to gain some more insights on the lives of these birds. What are they doing, and how are they? What's their health, and so on. And this particular species is a very indicative species of the health of the whole Baltic Sea. I've been told that this is due to their ability to dive down. They can dive down crazy deep, 100 meters deep. Yeah, I got the number, but I didn't know whether I dared to say it because it sounds so ridiculous. So they eat fish from several different depths, and when there are fewer fish, there are fewer guillemots. Also, during the pandemic, not many people were on this island, and then white-tailed eagles moved in. So there were 30 eagles on this small island, and they took a lot of the chicks and a lot of the eggs, and so this really decreased the number of guillemots in the Baltic Sea overall. So the human presence on the island is like it may affect the ecosystem negatively, but it can have other side effects as well. So now we're going to collect this data. I don't know, have you downloaded some of the data already? We will soon download some of the data and check it. After the season, that's when we will gain access to all the data. So it will stand there and record the whole season, and then we'll download the data, and then we'll start using these multimodal data sources to start training models, because we have weak supervision from the other sources. We have other models that detect certain events. We have the microphone array where we can do some triangulation. And from that, we hope to be able to identify the birds that are vocalizing in the videos and go forward with sort of what behaviors is it that we're recording. And from there, perhaps we can go forward to sort of map out the vocabulary of these birds or even start identifying individual birds. But that's a big if. We don't really know this yet. Okay, so next step is to label the data, and that's a big problem, as I'm sure many ecologists here are already aware. That's a laborsome task. I will just mention that the labeling process is something that John is very passionate about, and that's a big part of his PhD studies. And this includes his work on machine-guided annotation, where we have weak labeling, so we have the system, the model, suggesting parts in the recording, and then a human can just answer the question: is there or is there not this particular species vocalizing at this time? There's both practical and theoretical work that's been published from our group here. And in these, I should also mention Maria Sandsten here, who is an academic supervisor of John, and here in the room. The ACPD is this algorithm that I just mentioned. And here are some final results on the ACPD algorithm. The yellow one here, so when we have the queries per soundscape, is sort of how detailed can the system divide the recording, and with the ACPD we get a fair result just from 7 such divisions. With other methods, we need much more fine-grained division of the sound source to be able to do something meaningful. Okay. Thank you for listening. I would be happy to answer questions, but I'm not sure I will be able to. So give it a shot, and perhaps Maria and Delia can also help out. Yes.
I'll ask one if no one's going to ask one. One thing about Stora Karlsö is it's quite windy. So how do you deal with the windiness interfering with the audio?
That's a very good question. And actually, when we went there and we unboxed everything, there is something called a windshield that you put on the microphones. It's actually something that's on here as well, because when I'm breathing, otherwise it takes up a lot of the sort of the breathing, the blowing from the air, and it wasn't there, so they had to send it afterwards, and someone else had to put it on. We have those on. That's just a part of the answer to this. We also have the collection of weather data. So we have a weather station that measures the wind, and we will be able to sort of see and correlate that those two different data sources. We don't really know if this is going to be a problem. or not. But we will we will know when there's wind, and I assume that there's always some wind. But as you also saw in this live video, it's possible to record and to hear the actual vocalizations. Another question here. So the question is it possible to detect age or health in this data? And that's one of the questions. That's a good question, because that's a question that we're going to try to answer. We don't know how fine-grained we're going to be able to get, but we hope that we will go and get much more fine-grained than we are only with the camera data. So that's the answer. Yeah. Absolutely, we'll circulate the live stream link. Sure. Yeah, I'll send it. And with this said, we're just on time to grab lunch. Lunch is included for everyone, and it's in El's Resto. You can follow me, or you can follow someone else who knows the way. And then we meet up here at 1:15.
you.